Why are you still in your comfort zone? Why are you not stepping out of it? It's challenging, right? I know. Trust me, I've been there. Anyway, so welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we'll be discussing why we find it so hard as people to step out of our comfort zones, and hopefully I will give you a little bit of some insights or a little bit of some steps on how we can go together and step out of our comfort zone. So let's get right into it. Why is it so hard for us to step out of our comfort zone? Why are we so afraid of change? And what will it take for you to just do it? So my motto for this year is just do it. As you can see, this is my second video. Yes, we need to try be consistent in doing this. And the reason I actually just did it and just started my YouTube page is because it's something that I've always wanted to do, but we don't want to get into detail as to why I did it, because today is not about me, but today is about you. Today's about getting you motivated, and today's about getting you pumped up on stepping out of your comfort zone. Okay, so let's start with the why. Why is it so hard for us as people to leave our comfort zone? I can think of a few things. It's because we are so used to being in a routine that it's what makes sense to us, and it's what makes sense to our brain and our minds and to every fiber in our body. Like, being in that routine just makes sense. So we are not built to be used to things that make us feel uncomfortable. And truth is, change is so uncomfortable, guys. Like, I do not want to kid. Change is very uncomfortable. Take moving out of home, for instance. Like, that's a big step, adjusting to not having mom cook for you anymore, adjusting to not having to worry about the water, the lights, adjusting to it's a lot, because like you go from that, which is something that someone always had to worry about for you, and now it is in your hands. I'm the one who has to worry about bills. I need to worry about water. I need to worry about electricity. I need to switch the geyser on and off, which is something that we didn't do when we were home, but now because we're renting, we need to start doing. But it's just a lot, and groceries. So all of that tends to scare our brains, and that is why most of us just don't want to leave our comfort zone. That is what makes it hard, But how do we overcome it? And that is where I came up with the saying of just do it, I was influenced by a couple of people that I went to school with. I saw them start their channels. A couple of people who I lived around, I saw them just start their businesses. And I am a firm believer of just doing it, because so everyone who has been around me and who is around me who just started something without even thinking about it twice, they probably did think about it, procrastinate over it, and fight their thoughts. But I'm just seeing the results, and it's so beautiful. The motto, just do it, like, it's just you overcoming your fears and forgetting about what the results or what people might say. So I think that is also another factor that makes it so hard for us to leave it, what people might say. And all of these things, they just make us so afraid of change, And I'm a biblical person, not a biblical person, but I'm a Christian. And there's this verse, John 1 verse 9, it reads that God commands us to stay strong and be courageous in this verse, right? So not to be afraid or discouraged. And I don't want to get deep into it, but just those words, stay strong, don't be afraid, don't be discouraged. I mean, what better motivation do you need to just start whatever it is that you need to start, to just move out of that comfort zone that you have been in? So the next thing that we're going to get into is understanding that growth happens in discomfort. And the most beautiful growth and the most beautiful results happen in places where we are mostly uncomfortable. Yes, I said it. Uncomfortable. It's like going to gym. I'm pretty sure some of you guys have heard this analogy before, that you need to break down those muscles before they can build back up. Literally, you need to break down yourself. You need to fight with yourself. You need to be at the lowest, not always, but sometimes. But the moment you see yourself breaking down and the moment you see yourself at the lowest, that is when you will know that this is time for me to start building up. And there will always be signs around you, guys. There will always be signs. One thing about the universe, one thing about God, one thing about life, He will give you a sign when it is time for you to move out of that zone. So all you need to do is just take that little faith of yours and just place it in wherever it is that you choose to place your faith in as a person. And don't worry about being at your lowest, because sometimes you just need to be broken in order for you to build up again and grow, and try identify the things that are actually stopping you from taking that leap of faith. If it can be your friends, it can be the circles around you, it can be your family, it can be your job. Yes, it can be your job. It can be an activity that you're addicted to, like video gaming. It can be your TikTok, scrolling through the gram. Those things are those things that take your time off, and sometimes they discourage you. But so the moment you as a person, you learn how to identify those things, it will become so much easier for you to actually step into it and understand that if I can eliminate these things, if I can distance myself from a circle of friends that's negative and speaks nothing about positivity, if I can take myself away from a situation that is just not bringing growth to me, maybe I might find something. So the second thing is start small. I spoke about small starts in my previous video, and I think I am gonna speak about small starts in more of my videos because of the book that I was reading. If you want to know about it, please go watch the previous video. Link will be below, link will be in my bio. So yes, small starts. I've actually learned how to master small starts, and not learned, but I'm in the process of mastering small starts. And it's not easy. It is not easy because it's not easy. But the moment you learn how to master those small starts, that is when you will get the greatest rewards. So the greatest rewards come from starting small. It doesn't have to be massive. Let's take a catering company, for instance. It doesn't have to be massive. Just something as simple as you offering to cater for your baby brother's second birthday, just there, that is where you will be showcasing your skills to the people who will be there. And of course, people will ask questions, who did this, and from there, that is where your name and your brand will start, and don't start by overpricing these people, because you still want to grow your name. You need to start small, start somewhere, and with that, you'll actually see that those little groups and those little small starts will call in larger crowds, and the more those larger crowds come in, the greater everything will be, and the greater your business will grow, the greater your idea will grow, the greater your confidence will grow. And not just in business, also in work. Us as the youth, we struggle so much to find jobs after graduating or after finishing matric, let me say. And that's because we live in a country where there is no employment. Like, employment is so low, it is bad, and that is why most of us try to create our own employment or try to create our own source of incomes. But not all of us are creative, I may say. So not all of us can stand in front of a camera and speak. I'm also one of the people who can't do that. I'm still struggling. But that is where you have to adopt a mindset of working where you didn't want to work, just so that you can open doors. I used to work in retail. After college, I worked in retail, I worked in a coffee shop, I worked in an office job, and all three of those things were nothing that I studied for. They had nothing to do with what I wanted to become. They had nothing to do with what I studied for. That is when eventually, while I was still in my third job at the office job, that is where I got a call to finally do an apprenticeship. And you can think about it. How many years later? Literally, I finished college 2020, 21, 22. 2 years later, 2 to 3 years later, that is when I got called for an apprenticeship. And it was crazy because I'm like, finally, I'm getting called to do what I wanted to do. But do I believe that I would have gotten this apprenticeship if I would have stayed at home and had that mindset of, I'm not going to do anything because I am not destined to work in a coffee shop, or I'm not going to go and market for and work in a retail? Like, a part of me really believes that me working where I worked before I got to where I am now had to play a huge role with where I am now, you know? And I think I wouldn't be in aviation if I didn't start where I was before. But hey, small starts. You need to appreciate those small starts, because at the end of the day, guys, no one's going to give you that dollar. No one is going to give you that money. So just apply. Something as simple as retail. Just send in your CVs and apply. That is part of just stepping out of your comfort zone. It is doing something that you are uncomfortable with to get to where you will be comfortable. And I must say, I'm not comfortable yet. I'm still unhappy, but we are getting there, you know, small starts. And to think about it, I finished matric in 2017. People my age, most people that I went to school with, they are working. They have their dream jobs, some of them have their dream cars, and I'm only about to start my life now, 25 years old. I didn't see it this way, but this is how life happens, you know? So yeah, it all came with just appreciating the small starts and appreciating the small things that I have, because they do have a greater reward. It's better to start, honestly, than just to sit and stay worried. It's just better to start. And thirdly, do it because it's what you want, not because of your surroundings. This point comes more, or it goes more with people who want to start businesses, or people who want to start their own social media pages, or people who want to start their own YouTube channels. The pressure is real. Okay, I'm gonna repeat that. The pressure is real. So why I'm saying do it because you want, but not because of your surroundings, is because if you choose to take your decisions based on your surroundings, you will never get there, because we all have a different mindset that led us to take that decision. You know, I can start something, you can start something, the exact same thing, but we both won't end up the exact same place, you know? And if I'm going to choose to feed off the pressure of my surroundings, then why am I still doing what I'm doing? I'm going to start caring about the surroundings. If I'm going to care about people's opinions, then why am I doing it? Why am I doing it? Get out of the mentality of being a people's pleaser. It's not cute. It will not get you anywhere, you know? Those people who you are trying to please will not change the price of bread. Those people who you are trying to please will not offer you a mere K to start your life. Those people who you're trying to please will never bring you out of debt. So why are you scared? Please tell me, why are you scared? Because of people? Come on, guys. I mean, we have to have moved past that. We have to have moved past the generation where we worry about people's opinions. People's opinions of us will always be there, whether you're doing good, whether you're doing bad, whether you're broke, whether you're currently wealthy, whether you are doing anything, whether you're not doing anything. People will always have opinions. It is up to you as an individual as to whether you're going to continue to listen to those opinions or not. So this one is very simple. Just wire your brain to stop caring about what people have to say about you. You know, maybe some opinions might be good, Maralwena, just take it with a pinch of salt. Don't be too much into taking people's advice with things that don't need people's advice. Not everything you do in life needs advice from people. Yes, that's about it, guys. I really hope that from what I just blabbed about today, because I'm a blabber, I'm not a professional advice giver. That one I won't lie. Like I said, the purpose of this channel is just for you to be motivated to grow. I really hope after you watch this video, you start whatever it is that you want to start. You do whatever it is that you want to do, you know, and you grow as an individual in a way that you will be happy. We need to break these curses. You need to break generational curses, and we need to pull generational wealth. So what better way to start than actually getting out of your comfort zone? Eliminate procrastination. You know, procrastination is our biggest biggest enemy. It is our biggest enemy, and everyone goes through it. And the moment you master the art of eliminating that, your life will be so good. Like, you will live such a good life. You will thank yourself every single day. What I would like us to take away from this video today is that challenge yourself every single day with something that is different. Challenge yourself to do something that is different. Challenge yourself each day to do something that will build you towards your goal. You know, it's not easy. However, if we stick our minds to it, there is nothing greater that will actually overcome if you put your mind to it. You know, the mind is quite powerful, guys. It is a very powerful tool, and it's something that you shouldn't take for granted. So from today to this week coming forward, let us challenge ourselves every single day to do something that we've always wanted to do. It can be something as simple as starting to work out. Challenge yourself every day, and working out doesn't have to be hectic. You know, you can just start with that push-up. Start with that push-up every single day. 5. Next day add 1. 6. Next day add 1. 7. The adrenaline in you will push you to finally have a full workout plan. You know, then finally go to the gym and not waste your money every single month paying for a gym where your ghost is going to attend instead of you. And once you learn these habits of doing something every single day that challenges you, you will break out of the cycle of being in your comfort zone, because you're doing what is out of the normal. You're doing what scares you. And with that, my fellow friends, I leave you. Like, I don't have much more to say. I just want you guys to break out of those cycles, because as I said, this page is about breaking generational curses and building generational wealth. I am not a professional advisor, but I am just one who would also like to break these generational curses and wealth with you guys. And I would like to take you guys on this journey with me, because the advice that I am giving everyone on this page is advice that I am also coming across on a daily basis, and I am working on it as well. So let's try get this done, and let's try see by the end of the year what or how far we would have come. Write down that goal and let's do it. Thank you very much, guys. So I'm looking forward to spending much more time with you guys, and please do like, please do subscribe, please do share, and please do leave your comments down below, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether you have advice for me. Please do so, because we take good and we take bad, and there is no way I'm gonna grow if I do not get any criticism. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me for my channel today. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful week further. See you guys again next week Friday. Bye.